What if the race that decided the future of a war wasn't fought with guns, missiles, or drones, but with cargo? What if victory didn't depend on who fired first, but on who could fly the farthest, fastest, and deliver the most soldiers, tanks, and weapons before the other side even arrived? That is the world of strategic airlift, the silent backbone of every modern military, and in this hidden race, two giants take center stage. From the United States, the Lockheed C-5M Super Galaxy machine that can fly halfway around the world without stopping. From Russia and Ukraine, the Antonov An-124, a monster of a plane with cargo space so large it can carry loads few other aircraft dare attempt. But if push came to shove in a real-world contestive, both sides had to race to deliver heavy military payloads to a distant battlefield. Who would actually win? Let's begin with the American contender, the C-5M Super Galaxy, born in the late 1960s and upgraded to the M standard in the 2000s. The C-5M is one of the largest aircraft ever built in the United States. Measuring 75 meters long with a wingspan of 67 meters, it can carry up to 127 tons of cargo. That's enough for Abrams' main battle tanks, or dozens of armored vehicles, or a small army of troops and supplies. But the real trick isn't just what it can carry. It's where it can carry it. The C-5M has a range of 8,000 kilometers without refueling. And with in-flight refueling, it can literally circle the globe. That means America can load equipment in Texas, fly it to Europe or the Middle East, and unload it on the front line without a single stop. For a country with global military commitments, that's priceless. Now, the Russian-Ukrainian contender, the Antonov An-124 Ruslan. Introduced in the 1980s, it is slightly shorter than the C-5M but boasts a bigger cargo bay. It can carry up to 150 tons more than the C-5M, and its cavernous hold has been used to transport everything from massive turbines to space rockets. In fact, for many commercial operators, the An-124 became the go-to plane for oversized cargo. When you need to move something that won't fit anywhere else, you call the And Russian media loves to remind the world of that fact, often painting it as proof of Soviet engineering brilliance. The An-124 may carry more in one flight, but can it outrun, outlast, or outdeliver the C-5M? In a real military race? On paper, the Ruslan wins in raw payload. But let's not stop at numbers. Strategic airlift is not a contest of who can carry the heaviest box. It is a contest of who can deliver troops and weapons to the right place at the right time, reliably, again and again. And that is where the differences start to show. Consider this. The C-5M is fully integrated into the U.S. Air Force's global logistics network. It operates alongside the C-17 Globemaster and the KC-135 refueling fleet, supported by bases and allies on nearly every continent. Its modernized General Electric CF6 engines give it not just more thrust, but better fuel efficiency and reliability. Its digital cockpit allows smoother operations and lower maintenance. The result? The C-5M isn't just big, dependable. When a crisis breaks out, commanders know it will fly, it will arrive, and it will keep flying for as long as needed. The An-124, by contrast, faces challenges. After the collapse of the Soviet Union, production stopped. Ukraine held the design bureau, Antonov, while Russia retained some of the operational fleet. But as relations between the two nations soured and then collapsed into war spare parts, maintenance and upgrades became increasingly difficult. Today, only a limited number of An-124s remain in service. Some fly for Russian military missions, others for commercial companies, but keeping them in the air is a constant struggle, with sanctions cutting off access to western parts and Ukraine no longer cooperating on production. In short, the Ruslan is a beast, but a beast that's aging and without a clear future. One side maintains and upgrades its fleet. The other side is fighting just to keep its giants in the sky. Which approach really wins a race? Now let's move to a battlefield scenario. Imagine a sudden crisis in Eastern Europe or the Arctic. Both the United States and Russia need to deliver tanks, air defense systems, and supplies to reinforce their troops. The question isn't how much each plane can carry in a single load. The question is, who can move the most? the farthest, the fastest, and keep doing it day after day. The C-5M takes off from a US base, climbs into the stratosphere, and with in-flight refueling, can reach the battlefield directly. No stops. No delay. It delivers to Abrams tanks or dozens of Stryker vehicles, offloads in hours, and is ready for the next run. Meanwhile, the An-124 takes off from Russia. It carries a heavier load, maybe 3 or 4 tanks, but it cannot reach as far without stopping. It needs more logistical support, more fuel stops, and more time. In a one-off stunt, it might outcarry the C-5M. But in a sustained race, the Super Galaxy wins because it can simply fly more sorties more quickly over greater distances. And then there's survivability. The US has a global network of secure bases, allies, and refueling tankers to protect and sustain its airlift fleet. Russia, far more limited. With sanctions, damaged industry, and fewer allies, its ability to sustain the An-124 in a high-intensity scenario is questionable. And let's be honest, Strutian maintenance has a reputation. It's one thing to boast about carrying record-breaking payloads in an air show. It's another to keep those planes flying reliably, day after day, in a real military race. In the real world, being a giant isn't enough. The question is, can you run the marathon? Now, let's zoom out. The C-5M embodies American strategy. Global reach, rapid reaction, overwhelming logistics. It's not glamorous it. Doesn't make the front page like stealth bombers or fighters, but it wins wars by making sure the tanks, missiles, and soldiers actually get to the fight. The An-124 embodies a different legacy. Soviet pride in building the biggest and the heaviest. And yes, the Ruslan deserves respect as a masterpiece of engineering. But in today's reality, it feels more like a relic of a past era, impressive in size, but struggling to stay relevant.